The eviction notice was taped to our front door when I came home from work. Not folded, not hidden, just hanging there in the afternoon sun like the house itself was ashamed of us. I stood on the porch with my lunch bag still in my hand, reading the words over and over. Final notice. Past due. Immediate action required. And behind me, my wife's voice came from the driveway. "Well," she said quietly, "I guess Daniel was wrong." Daniel, her affair partner, the man she had told me was just helping her figure things out. The man she believed would take care of everything once she left me. The man who had apparently disappeared the moment everything became real. 3 months earlier, my wife Rachel was sleeping with her phone under her pillow. That was the first sign. Not the late nights. Not the new perfume. Not the way she suddenly needed space after 8 years of marriage. It was the phone. Rachel used to leave it everywhere. Kitchen counter, couch cushion, bathroom sink. But suddenly, it became part of her body. One night, around 2:17 a.m., it lit up on her side of the bed. I wasn't trying to snoop, but in a dark room, a bright screen feels like a confession. The message said, "Don't worry. Once you're out, I'll handle everything." I stared at those words until they blurred. Rachel woke up, saw my face, and snatched the phone so fast the charger hit the wall. "It's not what you think," she whispered. Funny how people only say that when it is exactly what you think. The next morning, she made coffee like nothing had happened. Her hands were steady. Mine weren't. "Who is he?" I asked. She sighed, like I was annoying her. "His name is Daniel. He's a friend." "A friend who's telling you he'll handle everything once you're out?" She looked at me with that calm, practiced expression people wear when they've already decided their lie is more important than your pain. "You've been emotionally unavailable for years," she said. That was the first time she used that phrase. Emotionally unavailable. It became her shield. Whenever I asked why she was hiding messages, I was emotionally unavailable. Whenever I asked why she came home smelling like another man's cologne, I was controlling. Whenever I asked why $4,800 vanished from our savings account, I was obsessed with money. Rachel didn't just cheat. She rewrote our marriage, so she could feel innocent while doing it. Welcome back to Quiet Betrayal Stories. If stories about rebuilding yourself after betrayal hit close to home, subscribe and tell me your thoughts below. I work as a payroll coordinator for a trucking company. Not glamorous, but I understand numbers. And numbers don't flirt. They don't gaslight. They don't say, "You're imagining things." They just tell the truth. So I started looking. Quietly. Bank statements. Credit card charges. ATM withdrawals. Hotel receipts disguised as business meals. Rachel had spent nearly $12,000 in 3 months. Not on rent. Not on bills. On Daniel. Restaurants. Weekend trips. Clothes. Gifts. And then I found the worst part. She had stopped paying the mortgage. For 2 months. When I confronted her, she didn't cry. She laughed. Not loudly. Just a small, cold laugh through her nose. "Daniel said we need cash available for the transition." "The transition?" She crossed her arms. "I'm leaving, Mark." There it was. 8 years reduced to 3 words. I asked her where she planned to go. She lifted her chin. "Daniel has a place." I asked if Daniel knew she hadn't paid the mortgage. Her face tightened. "He knows enough." That was when I realized something. Rachel didn't have a plan. She had a fantasy, and Daniel had sold it to her. So I stopped arguing. I stopped begging. I stopped trying to make her remember who we used to be. Instead, I protected myself. I separated my paycheck into a new account. I called the mortgage company and explained exactly what had happened. I paid only what I was legally responsible for, and I gathered every receipt, every bank transfer, every message she forgot to delete. Rachel mistook my silence for weakness. She thought I was broken. Maybe I was. But broken people still know how to lock the door before the storm comes in. 2 weeks later, Daniel came to our house. He wore a navy blazer and smelled like expensive soap. Rachel stood beside him, like she had won something. Daniel looked around our living room and said, "So this is the place." The place. Not our home. Not the house I repaired after work. Not the kitchen where I cooked soup when Rachel had the flu. Just the place. He told me Rachel deserved better. He told me he was willing to help make this clean. Then he offered me $5,000 to leave. I looked at Rachel. She wouldn't meet my eyes. That hurt more than his arrogance. I said, "Put it in writing." Daniel blinked. "What?" "If you're offering me money to leave my own house, put it in writing." He smiled like I was stupid. "Relax, man. We're adults." "No," I said. "Adults pay the mortgage." Rachel's face went pale. Daniel looked at her. That was the first crack. Because men like Daniel love stolen weekends. They love whispered promises. They love being the escape. But they do not love overdue notices. They do not love debt. They do not love consequences with account numbers attached. 3 days later, Daniel stopped answering her calls. At first, Rachel said he was busy. Then she said he was overwhelmed. Then she said he needed time. By the end of the week, she was sitting on the bathroom floor crying into a towel, so I wouldn't hear. I heard everything. And still I said nothing. The eviction notice came on a Thursday. Rachel had believed Daniel would pay. Daniel had believed Rachel had money. Both of them had been lying to each other. The difference was I had stopped lying to myself. That afternoon, after she said, "I guess Daniel was wrong," I walked past her and unlocked the door. Inside, the house felt hollow. Boxes half-packed. Her clothes missing from the closet. A framed wedding photo face down on the hallway table. Rachel followed me into the kitchen. "Mark," she said, softer now. "I made a mistake." I set my keys down. "No. You made choices." She wiped her cheek. "I don't have anywhere to go." I looked at her, and for 1 second, I saw the woman I married. Then I remembered the hotel receipts, the deleted messages, the way she laughed when I asked about the mortgage. "I'm sorry," I said. Her eyes filled with hope. But I wasn't done. "I'm sorry you trusted a man who only wanted you when I was paying for the life he was stealing from." The next week, the house went into formal proceedings. But my name was protected. My accounts were protected. My records were clean. Rachel had drained what was hers, ignored what was ours, and believed another man would catch her when she jumped. He didn't. Daniel blocked her. Her sister wouldn't take her in. Her parents told her they were disappointed. And the apartment she applied for denied her because of the unpaid debt tied to her name. The last time I saw Rachel, she was standing outside a cheap motel with 2 suitcases and the same phone she used to hide under her pillow. She looked smaller. Not because she lost Daniel. Because she finally understood that betrayal does not become freedom just because you call it love. She asked me if I hated her. I thought about it. Then I said the truth. "No. I just don't carry you anymore." I moved into a smaller apartment across town. Quiet street. Clean walls. No perfume that didn't belong. No glowing phone at 2 a.m. No silence pretending to be marriage. Sometimes healing does not feel like winning. Sometimes it feels like sleeping through the night for the first time in months. Rachel thought her affair partner would take care of everything. But the truth is, men like Daniel don't rescue women like Rachel. They just wait until the bill comes. And leave someone else to pay it. This time it wasn't me.